The purpose of score and slip is to permanently join two clay parts. Please write this on your worksheet now. All right, score and slip. This process is literally going to make or break your project. Whether your project stays together and you come out with something awesome, or if you just come out with a bunch of pieces that aren't going to go through the kiln, you're not going to come out with a cool piece. This is super, super important. So first you need to figure out what is going to meet. I'm making a clay mug right here, and so we have quite a few pieces that are going to meet. The side slabs are going to meet together along these edges here, and those are going to be on top of my base piece. Don't join it like this. I don't know if you can see. So see how my side is like here and it's going around? Not good. Not good at all. You want your side piece to be on top of the base. That's going to work a lot better for you. And I've also got my handle piece here, which I don't want to dry out too much. So that was step number one. I figured out what I want to join. Now I'm going to use a nail to score the pieces that I'm going to join. You'll use a nail. I'm using a toothpick because I couldn't find a nail at my house. Alright, so I'm going to create lots of little scratches. Make sure that you can really see these. If you can't see it very easily, it's probably not deep enough. So I created all those little scratches there. Along the bottom edge as well. Yeah, the nail's way better than this little toothpick. It scratches a little bit better. Okay, so that's all prepared. Now I need to scratch on my base. If you don't score or scratch, like I'm doing right now, it might hold together for that day. It might keep holding together for a day or two, especially if it stays wet. But once you start to let it dry out, everything's going to start falling apart, popping off. Okay, so I've got that all scored now for my handle. You're going to want some nice surface area on where it's joining. So if you just joined this piece right here, that probably wouldn't be enough. So I'm going to kind of turn it so it has this type of shape, and then this part is going to join on, and then this part right here. Score it really, really well. Okay, so I've got my pieces all scored. Slip is clay mud. It's clay that's been mixed with a bunch of water, and it has quite the interesting texture. If you decide to dip your whole hand in the slip container, that's fine. Know that you will not be able to wash your hands until we clean up. Okay, so that's your choice. Now I need to apply the slip to all the parts that are going to be joined together. Imagine the scoring is kind of like hooks. The slip is the glue. If you just do one or the other, it's going to fall apart. You've got to do both. Don't be afraid of using plenty of slip. You're going to need enough so that when you join the pieces together that it squishes out between the seams. So you need quite a bit of slip between every surface that's going to be joined. Now I'm going to go ahead and join the pieces together. I've seen so many students, they kind of, well, they joined it together. No, that's not enough. You've got to really push the pieces together, really weld that seam so I cannot even see that there was a seam there originally. That there's two different pieces that they've joined so well together that I can't even tell. You might need to use the knife to hold things steady while you're working on joining the pieces. You should have enough slip that it's really squishing out. You can use the knife as a smoothing tool. Add any slip where it seems like it's not squishing out. It's really important that it squishes out, because if it doesn't, then that means that there could be air pockets lurking, ready to explode. Smoothing on the inside as well. You might need the knife to reach down inside there. There's some excess slip on the inside as well, and you don't want that to dry because it'll be all snaggy in there. And this mug will be really hard to clean later on if you leave any of that. Those pieces of slips, you want to clear all that out. Smooth it out as best you can by reaching in there. Make sure you're pushing down too to join on that bottom. Keep working on your side seam. So here I'm cutting away some of the excess of that base piece and smearing a little bit of it up onto the side to just really securely attach that bottom piece. I've seen so many students who don't quite get that step well enough, and the bottom of their mug pops off and makes it essentially useless. Here I'm going to attach the handle. See how I made those little marks where it wants to attach, and then that told me where to score. Now I'm adding the slip, attaching the handle, really pushing those pieces together, pushing those slab pieces together. The handle is the most likely part of this whole project to pop off, so make sure that you attach it really, really well. Scraping off some excess clay to just clean things up. If you use the pipe like that to hold the shape, just make sure that you don't punch through the bottom with the rolling pin pipe. Just smoothing things out. Here I'm getting some of the features ready. If this takes you a while, you might want to put your mug underneath a wet rag. Remember to score and slip every single piece that you put on. Otherwise it's going to pop off eventually. So notice how I place pieces, kind of see where they want to go, and then I'm scoring and slipping. I noticed that I tended to make every piece too big, so I cut off some of the back on most of the pieces that I made just to make it work a little bit better. If you've got little pieces that are coming off, just put those in the slip container. Again, score and slip everything.